Let's have a look at the way they'll line up. Lachlan Coote in the fullback role. Antonio Winterstein and Justin O'Neill. His flank men in the centres. Tautau Moga, Kane Linnett. To the scrum base we go. Michael Morgan and the captain, Jonathan Thurston, in game 250. Up front, Matt Scott, Jake Granville, James Tarmo. The back row, Gavin Cooper, Jason Talmalolo and Ethan Lowe. The bench, Cos Jason, Asiata, Bolton and Hannant. Ben Hannant playing NRL game 200. Some last minute handshakes and back slaps for the Cowboys as the Warriors look nice and relaxed in their dressing room. Tuimola Lolo here is the fullback, with Sam Tompkins set to return over the next week or two. Jonathan Wright, Manu Vatuve, the wingers. Conrad Hurrell and Solomon Akata, the centres. Hurrell eye-catching last week, his second game back. Chad Townsend and Sean Johnson, the halves. Townsend in fantastic form behind the likes of Lilliman, Lulawai and Ben Matalino up front for the Warriors. Bodine Thompson, Simon Mannering and Ryan Hoffman rounding out the run on 13. Friend, Peru, Lissone and Vete completing the 17 for coach Andrew McFadden. They were big winners last week against West's Tigers, 32-22, but only after a real fight. It was tight in the second half with just 2 points separating the teams. And the Cowboys, haven't they been good since dropping their first 3 games in recent weeks? They've put 30 points on Penrith, 30 on the reigning premiers South Sydney. Yeah, they've been in great touch. Attack mode, fantastic. Very few errors, plenty of line breaks and tackle busts, and gelling really well as well defensively. Of course, that's kind of been overlooked a little bit. So that put a big score on the reigning premiers was wonderful. There were some ominous clouds over Townsville when we arrived, but they have cleared, as you can see. Late afternoon, early evening sunshine over 1300 Smile Stadium. Strong breeze across the ground. Great conditions to sit and watch rugby league. Pretty decent to play in as well. That sets the scene for you. And as I mentioned, a few Warriors flags fluttering in the wind. Will they wave high and proud at full time? Well, we'll find out in a game that promises so much. Some milestones, the representative season just around the corner, and a host of players will be involved in those games on show this afternoon, including Kiwi captain Simon Mannering, who is also the Warriors leader, trailed by Thomas Lulawai, Ryan Hoffman and Big Manu. Can he keep the tries coming in 2015 already? He has 5 to his name. Not quite the same reception for Manu and the Warriors as they received at Mount Smart last week.
Well, this fellow is very familiar with the ground. Jacob Lilliman made his debut here for the Cowboys 12 years ago, back in round 22, 2003, as a 19-year-old, and played plenty of games for Queensland meanwhile. Conrad Hurrell, third game back, the big blockbusting centre.
JT with daughter Frankie, the milestone moment. Let's let the crowd here paint the picture. Frankie's enchanted with the fireworks that don't have great effect in these conditions, but he's king of the kids, isn't he, JT? And he has the most precious kid in his arm, in his eyes as he walks out. Daughter Frankie, a nice moment for the captain. 3 straight man of the match honours. Is he set for a 4th this evening?
Well, he's had a lot of help. Young Jake Granville has been superb, starting at hooker, doing a great role. Geez, quick out of dummy half, scored a wonderful try last week as well, a long-range try. The forward pack has been firing. Lachlan Coote at the back. I think it's game number 5 since knee surgery last year, and getting stronger every week.
Yeah, gotcha.
Great story by Scott Bailey in Big League about the frustrations for Lachlan Coote having to sit out his first season at North Queensland. More on that as the game unfolds. Jared Sutton, Grant Atkins, the referees. Round 7 rolls on. The Cowboys and Warriors in what shapes as a beauty. Close contests for their last 2 meetings. And it's James Tarmo for the Cowboys with the game's first carry. Now Taumalolo, quickly surrounded by Warriors, picked up and carried backwards safely. It's a fair effort to lift big Jason Taumalolo. And if that's not enough, here's Matt Scott. Three of their most threatening forwards leading them into battle. Tarmo, Taumalolo and Scott. Now Gavin Cooper fighting to get to his feet. Scott giving it this time to Taumalolo, who does likewise. Coop onto Morgan, and now Moga. Pushed towards the sideline and stopping just in field. A scare for Tautau Moga. Morgan back the other way to Coop, who will complete with a deep kick end over end, and it's fielded safely by Jonathan Wright. Greeted by Thurston a fraction after Gavin Cooper arrived.
They like to send the message out early. The Cowboys test the opposition in that first set quite often. They do swing it wide, and they did just that. Warriors' defence was up to it on the left. And now their turn to try to go forward. He's been great for them this season, hasn't he, Ryan Hoffman?
Scored in his first 3 games for the Warriors as that pass was collected by Jacob Lilliman for a moment. It threatened to go up over his left shoulder. He did well. And now Ben Matalino. Matalino deservedly earning plenty of praise, but don't underestimate the work of Jacob Lilliman either. His figure's fantastic. And his best game of the season in terms of running metres last week as this kick by the Warriors goes close to the sideline. O'Neill had to play at it after it touched him, and he comes back in field safely.
That was dangerous, and it was a lucky result in a way. Got a terrible, terrible bounce. Just couldn't get to it on the full. Justin O'Neill, but scrambled, cleaned it up.
Winterstein now, the leading try scorer for the Cowboys for the last 2 years. Tarmo. Granville hears the whistle as the Cowboys win the first penalty. Hand in the ruck, according to Gerard Sutton. Ryan Hoffman with a frustrated look. It gives us a chance to say good evening to Brent Tate, the man about to take the kick. Brent, his form outstanding. What sort of confidence does the rest of the team take from that sort of Jonathan Thurston display?
Yes, well, in the dressing shed before the game, when you have a look around, you see him. He certainly gives you plenty of confidence, and if it's possible, his form the last 3 weeks has certainly been outstanding, and a big night for him here with his 250th, and I'm really looking forward to how he plays tonight.
As are we, Brent, as are the viewers on Fox Sports and Sky Sport as the Cowboys go inside the 30 through Matt Scott. Granville comes back towards the open side, feeding Thurston. On he goes to Morgan. Morgan takes on the line, tackled by Townsend. The 2 5/8s. Moga long to Thurston, now Tarmo. He aims towards the uprights and finishes 9 metres out on his back underneath Mannering and Bodine Thompson. Granville quickly out of dummy half to Morgan, hunting the first try. The Cowboys are close. They've scored the first try just once so far this season.
Enough, Chad. Held up. Time off. Michael. Last tackle. Tackle 5 now. That's
so
tackle
Morgan
5.
ruled held up in goal.
Thomas.
Will come out 10 for the final play.
Last one. Go.
It's with Thurston. Long now to Coote. Coote will kick across field. Didn't come off the boot as he would have liked. Winterstein goes along the ground. And Tuimoala, Lola here, is there for the Warriors and stays in the field of play.
Did well to stay in the field of play. They had hold of him. Lachlan Coote in particular. That's a couple of kicks they've gone to Lachlan Coote, straight up. That one wasn't his best. It fortunately landed in the arms of his winger.
What about that for some contact on Vartuve? Big Jimmy Tarmo. Just letting Manu Vartuve, he can't run as he wills at 1/300 smiles. It's fitting I say smiles because that's what was on Manu's face as he got back to his feet. Here's Johnson on top of his own 20, going high with a kick that won't even find halfway. Harrell tried to push back. It's come off Thurston, gone forward. Harrell will race away. What about this for an opportunistic try? Conrad Harrell from a horrible kick Somehow the visitors win possession and race 40 metres to score.
We have a try. We'll look at the kick contest.
I didn't see anything wrong with that, I've got to say, straight up. He really competed for it, Hurrell, but I think it all came off Jonathan Thurston. Somehow slipped out of his hands. We check if they're onside, and they were going nowhere this time. This set, the Warriors. Cowboys have put a lot of pressure on them, but that's a midfield bomb if I've ever seen one. It's going to land around the halfway. And just watch Hurrell flying through outside Thurston there. Does he touch it? That would be the only problem. I don't think he did. And it's picked up there and slipped back out to Big Conrad, and he outsprints them.
Bodine Thompson, the man to do the clean-up work, and quick thinking infield to Hurrell. It's been awarded a try. No shot yet has shown us an infringement by the Warriors that would see this try called back. We'll have a look for some other angles. Will this shot show it? Has it touched Conrad Hurrell coming down there, Badge?
Well, I can't see it touching him. I can't see it touching him, and they're not going to overrule this on that evidence. Unless you could clearly see him touching it. I don't think he did anyway. I think he's just had an air swing, and it was all left to Thurston. The referee, let's remember, he has ruled a try, and I think he's got it right. The ref's first instinct is that that's all okay. Well, they're going to need to rewind that just a little bit more.
If it's a try, it's come very much against the run of play. The Cowboys with the position and the possession for the first 5 minutes. But there is Conrad Hurrell slamming it down for what he thinks deserves a kiss to the camera. And it does. It's been given a green light by the video referee, Shane Hayne, Ben Gallier, and Conrad Hurrell with his first try for 2015.
It really was a nothing kick. Johnson just hoisted it in the air. They were pinned so deep in their own territory. But they got a result simply by competing hard for it.
So Shaun Johnson will line up this conversion attempt. He landed 4 from 6 last Saturday night against the Tigers. 17 from 24 this season. Just what the Warriors wanted. First try to give them some confidence in what is a difficult trip. Flags are up, 6-0 to the Warriors. And it was the kick from Johnson that appeared to be doing nothing. If anything, we expected the Cowboys to go straight back on the attack, but the mistake from Thurston invited Thompson and Hurrell to combine for the Warriors.
Yeah, look, I can't blame any Cowboys players for not getting there. The only one was running back was Jonathan Thurston that was ever a chance of being there. And the ball ended up in his hands. And out again.
Get behind it, Matt.
So just that stat I touched on, the Cowboys have now conceded the first try in 6 of their 7, but here they are going out on the full from the restart. So their problems compound.
Yeah, that's, I think Paul Green wouldn't have a major issue with that try, the unlucky bounce they got in some ways, but he would have a problem with that. It's just a poor error. He's put too much on that kickoff.
From 25 metres out, here come the Warriors again. Luluwai to Matalino. Backing his way within 15 metres. Now he goes to ground. Tamo and Scott, the tacklers. Lillyman, straight and hard. Trying to build on a 6-0 lead. Townsend back the other way. Lolo here runs onto the ball, gives it for Johnson. Numbers for the Warriors. Over the head. Jonathan Wright dives for the corner and comes up celebrating. A second try for the Warriors. What a start. Good hands from the visiting team. back the other way. A change in direction by Townsend, and they were away.
Oh, they could have thrown the short ball there for Bodine Thompson. That would have scored as well, but he elected to keep going out wide. Sean Johnson, great play, well constructed. Just switching the point of the attack back to the other side of the field. Oh, that's great skill, isn't it? And right in the corner, no problem at all. You can't give them good field position. You can't make it easy for the Warriors, because if they start throwing the footy around like this, they are the best in the comp.
Last weekend,
at finding space.
Sean Johnson, a try and a try assist. Chad Townsend, a try and 2 try assists. They were in everything last weekend for the Warriors, and the beneficiary right there, that man, Jonathan Wright, his first try of the season.
That's a fantastic try, and there was a couple of players there running into holes that I think would have had a chance to score. They were just simply caught out with numbers on that, on their left side of the field, the Cowboys.
Successful with his first conversion, but this one is trickier. As Jonathan Thurston walked on for game 250, there were fireworks. The crowd was rocking. It is silent right now.
They've been rocked.
Almost eerie at 1300 Smile Stadium. Some confused looks on the faces of the Cowboys. Are they about to be behind 12-0? It will take a good kick from Johnson. The crowd makes some noise now in a bid to upset, but all they've done is seen the flags go up. 12-0, Sean Johnson. Well, Brent Tate, what do the Cowboys do from here for the next 10 minutes?
Well, one thing they wouldn't have wanted to do is invite this Warriors team, who do play on confidence, into the game, and they are certainly looking very confident at the moment. A real danger sign for the Cowboys would be Sean Johnson taking the line on there. What great skill.
Short kickoff mightn't hurt either. Just don't kick it dead, Lachlan.
Well, he's gone deep.
No.
And can you believe it? Twice in a row, Lachlan Coote goes deep. That look, that scream says it all.
He held back on that kick. He tried not to hit it as hard as he could, and it was just as clean as a whistle off the boot.
I want to go down to Brent Tate. I mentioned the wind, Tatey, before kickoff. Is that a factor? Is that behind Lachlan Coote?
Well, it is blustery down here, and we've just... Oh, sorry, guys. It is a little bit blustery down here, but certainly 2 missed kicks from Lachlan Coote, and the Cowboys again under immense pressure here with the Warriors attacking their line.
He was in that play then, Brent Tate. He was going to go down there, I think, and help Justin O'Neill tap that one back in as he jumped for it. That's
bring him in, boys.
That might help a little bit.
Lock him in, Tom.
So Lachlan Coote from the kickoff goes dead twice. Then the Warriors fail to find touch the way they would have liked. They'll still come away in great position. Johnson. Now here's Lolo here into a hole, passing for Wright, who only has to pick up. The cover is across. It was the ball from Lolo here to Wright that wasn't slick enough for the Warriors. Thompson. They're rattled at the moment, the Cowboys, trying to stay in the contest. Here's Lilliman giving it for Matalino.
Really important set of 6 for the Cowboys, and back to the Warriors right is the way they've got to watch out.
Luluwai flat for Lilliman. He's met in a strong tackle. Granville and Taumalolo. Luluwai goes to them depth. Townsend leaves it behind. Knocked backwards, say the referees, and this is the last. Johnson, 15 out. He goes along the ground into the in goal. It will hang in the in goal, and Thurston, ice cool, watches it over the dead ball line. What a play from Thurston.
And he knows how important that was and how fortunate that is for the Cowboys. That ball went dead. Another set of 6, and they were certainly in some strife there, the Cowboys.
Look at this from the Warriors pushing Winterstein backwards.
Ryan Hoffman.
Ethan Lowe. Natamo. Lifting the legs, trying to chew off every metre he can. Granville goes to Taumalolo. over the last month. He's been the leading go forward, if you like. Cooper. Tackled by Johnson. Taumalolo passing this time to Scott. He gives it for Coot. Now Morgan, who's under some pressure from Carter. Morgan gets away and Carter comes again, assisted by Mannering. This is the last, and Tamo to Coot, who measures his kick this time towards Vartuve. The push back by the Cowboys. It's there, but Mannering dives on the ball.
It's good awareness there, Simon Mannering. He realised that it hadn't come off any Warriors players. He was onside. Showed a bit of desperation.
Solomon Carter running behind Vartuve, who was tackled on suspicion, and Carter comes out the other side. Tackled by Coot, 10 shy of halfway. Townsend goes himself out of dummy half and almost threads his way into backfield. Lowe made the tackle. Lillyman back towards the ruck. He's stopped by Tamo and Scott. Townsend high. And it's taken safely by Lachlan Coote.
You go back to where that ball was taken by Simon Mannering, and they have gone no more than 5 or 6 metres wide there, the Warriors. They just went in behind the back of the ruck the whole way, and even the kick was in the same channel. Lachlan Coote now took a bit of a whack as he caught this bomb.
Yeah, not right now.
Manu Vartuve fell in back play. There's the catch, and as he was going to ground, Solomon Carter comes over the top. I can't see anything illegal or any obvious injury for Lachlan Coote.
Yeah, well, I'll just move to this side.
Are they looking at the obstruction on Manu Vartuve?
I think they might be looking at the tackle there,
High
and that's
contact.
obscured. Is there high contact?
He's up and ready to go, Kevin. Okay, get play, Lachlan. Wait for the whistle.
Good
Tackle
call.
1. Thomas. Stay square. Hold here. Go 1.
O'Neill, after a very solid first 4.5 minutes, the Cowboys are trying to work themselves back into the contest. Here's Moga.
Simon, kick that top in square. Hold it by doing. Come on, Thomas.
Now Scott into Bodine, Thompson and Hurrell.
Conrad, out of there.
They only met once last season, a win at this ground for the Warriors, 20-16.
Last tackle by doing.
In fact, their last 2 meetings have gone to the Warriors by 4 points and 2 points. Here's Morgan kicking back low across his body, and Wright will field the grubbering kick and be stopped 10 shy of halfway.
Gavin, get off him. Off his head. Gavin, off his body.
Lolo here plays it. Mannering into enemy territory again. Mid-set. Johnson gives it behind Thompson to Lolo here, who went on to Hurrell, and he was tackled by Thurston. Lillyman, another strong shot from the Cowboys. A couple of tackles have rocked the Warriors, but they have the edge on the scoreboard, 12-0. The kick goes high towards Vartuve, who catches safely back to Carter. Still the last. Matalino goes long to Lolo here. He'll try a chip and chase. It lands in no man's land as it's set on quickly by Lachlan Coote. Tackled by Mannering eventually.
Oh, he'll be keen, won't he, to make amends for those couple of kickoffs. Lachlan Coote has been very good this last month. At the back there for the Cowboys. Looking for the offload.
Hold, go. 3. Coming now, Joey.
Tamo. Stopped by Hoffman. And Ben Matalino.
Go, 4.
Taumalolo gives it for Thurston. Coote runs onto the ball and goes long to Winterstein. And he can't get to the outside of his man. Hurrell fell off. But Johnson cleaned up defensively. Here's Thurston stabbing at the ball, putting it in behind Jonathan Wright and finding touch 8 metres out.
Chasing he was too, JT. He wouldn't have minded if that had stayed in the field of play. His team gets a rest. They need to come up with another big set of 6. Gee, the Warriors are straight away off the back of that first try and scoring again within minutes there, in the mood to throw it around, aren't they? You just sense when they go up upbeat, looking for offloads, looking for good quick shifts.
Okay, down we go. Head in. Thomas in.
Simon Mannering packing in at hooker. The Cowboys, they're still right in this game. As I've mentioned, a couple of good shots defensively, and over the last 3 weeks, they've beaten 2014 finalists. Melbourne, Penrith, Souths. Carter trying to step away from low across Tamo, but Moga holds on.
Hold
here, boys, hold. Go 3.
Lulawai sends it down the short side, quick hands. Hoffman's pass was forward. In the bid to be quick, he went forward. So here's a chance for the home side.
Yeah, long way forward. He had to quickly get rid of it. And they were all very, very flat here on the short side. Ryan Hoffman, oh, that's a long way forward.
Let's form up, boys. Let's get there,
yeah, would have been embarrassing if the ref didn't pick that one up. That'll help. Is it their first error?
Heads in the back, boys.
Wait for the out.
One error each.
Wait for the out.
Head into the back.
Stay here, Simon.
All the way in, Thomas. Thomas, down. Head in, Jake. You've got a blind as well, Jake. Feed. Out. Yours.
Morgan onto Coot. And now Linnett bursts through. Pulled down by Bodine Thompson from behind. Gavin Cooper inside the 20, the Cowboys. And the crowd comes to life. Granville shows it to Scott, goes to Thurston, a flat pass for Ethan Lowe. And you can see how close they are. Granville, Taumalolo shrugs clear of one, and is quickly wrapped up by the Warriors' leading tackler, Simon Mannering. Thurston, he gives it to Moga, a little skip in front of Carter, and the pass backwards for Morgan. The Warriors hold their line, forcing Morgan across field. He goes to Coot. Coot passes for Cooper. Tackled by Lillyman and Bodine Thompson. Thurston loops onto the ball, chips towards the wing of right. He's tall, he's in the air, and he's marking safely and accelerating for the 20-metre line.
Didn't quite get it right, that kick. Never enough time for the left edge Cowboys players to get through there, Winterstein and co. And you're right, he is a big, tall unit, Jonathan Wright.
Townsend goes to Vartuve on the fly and out the other side. Now he drops the ball but gets a penalty.
Ethan Lowe.
It was trademark Manu, wasn't it? Just winding up, throwing himself at the defence.
They've done some damage in the middle of the ruck behind the play the ball area there, the Warriors. Just finding plenty of metres.
There, Thomas. Solomon.
So the penalty count 3-1 in favour of the visitors. The Warriors are conceding the fewest penalties in the league. Only one so far. 3-1 to the good so far. Lulawai. Albert Vete. Sam Lasone, Albert Vete. Rookies off the bench. It's Ben Matalino given a breather. Jacob Lillyman. As I mentioned at the start, his numbers last week against the Tigers, the best of the season. Johnson accelerates, passes for Hurrell, and it's a good tackle. Mainly made by Kane Linnett, finished off by Jonathan Thurston. They're close again. Johnson, Lillyman to Mannering, and he drops it cold. Ethan Lowe was waiting to put a shot on. In the end, he didn't really need to. A let-off for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they've made a couple, haven't they, coming out of their own zone now? Or getting into that attacking zone, the Warriors.
Justin O'Neill. Scott Bolton.
He's been strong, very strong, last month or so.
For years, as Coot goes up the middle. The fullback looking for support. There it is from Jake Granville, and there's his speed. A try against South Sydney, another one tonight against the Warriors, and didn't the home side need that?
Yeah, well, that is a beauty. Off a pretty quick play, the ball by Scotty Bolton. Just the inside pass, steps off his left foot, Thurston. Draws the inside man. Coots where he should be, the fullback. And he just feeds it back inside to his supporting hooker, Jake Granville. Just watch him off the left foot. And then he commits Veta, who's just been got on the field. Coot to Granville. And you're right, Matt. They certainly needed that one. That should be a 6-pointer. Just exploited that a bit too wide there next to the play the ball, the Warriors.
The 26-year-old who won a couple of premierships with Wynnum Manly in the Intrust Super Cup, where Paul Green spent part of his coaching journey. But gee, his speed on Monday night surprised me. We've seen it again. Jake Granville, he's an impressive player.
Well, he's played a lot in other positions too, and a lot of fullback, so he's very quick.
Thurston trying to cut the margin to 6, and successful in doing so. Well, Brent Tate, you know a lot more about Jake Granville than I do. Talk to me about him.
Yeah, I think he's been fantastic for us this season. Paul Green actually started him against the Melbourne game, and I think he's been a big turning point in this team's form the last couple of weeks, along with Lachlan Coote. Just his speed around the play the ball and his enthusiasm, it's really turned this Cowboys side around.
Of course, he spent a couple of years at Brisbane as well as in his first at North Queensland. Jake Granville, a pleasure to watch. Johnson's restart taken by Linnett, and Tamo can come back.
I just wonder who called that play, the Thurston step back into the Warriors forward. He knew he could draw and put Lachlan Coote away, but perhaps it was Coote seeing that space from where he's positioned at the back.
Go 2.
Now Bolton, and just what Lachlan Coote needed. A great play like that after putting a couple out on the full. Invited points for the Warriors. Gavin Cooper.
One of the other strengths to Lachlan Coote's game, and we saw so often when he was at the Panthers, was just being around those kicks in close to the line and scoring a lot off the short kicks. That'll be on at some stage in the next few weeks, you'd imagine, if not tonight.
Thurston chips the defence and has the ball bounce in front of Lolo here. He slips. Linnett was there waiting for the tackle. In the end, it was an easy one. And Johnson, no room for him out of dummy half. Lolo here passes for Jonathan Wright, and again he's met by some willing defence from the Cowboys. They are winning this set. The Warriors still pinned on their 20. Now, big Albert Vete. Luluwai passes for Johnson. He's put on his back. That's the 5th. The kick is on the ground. Instead, it comes for Townsend to run. Now Grubber, there's a brave play. Thurston has it. Weaving sideways and passing now for Moga. Across halfway, and he's stopped by Mannering. It's a good defensive set from the Cowboys, seeing them quickly into opposition territory.
He takes the line on, doesn't he? Not afraid to take the line on. Michael Morgan. Plenty of runs tonight already.
Ethan Lowe. You heard the contact with Albert Vete. Thurston. Flat for Cooper, who twists. It was a dummy as he 360'd. And he's 10 metres out. Thurston for Taumalolo. Hannett in game 200 is on the field and wanting the ball. It goes behind him to Thurston. Now Morgan along the ground, turning Vartuve around. He only had eyes for the Cowboys, and Manu watched the ball roll dead eventually.
Well, he actually ran Justin O'Neill off of the footy when it set up a little bit late there. And he's entitled to do that. He might have used his shoulder slightly, but there was a concern it might stay just inside the dead ball line.
Locked up.
Scott, get off there!
Work out of this, Scott, and Ben!
Hold. Zero tackle.
That's Lissone,
Bolton, no hands.
Sam Lissone, Albert Vete. A couple of eye-catching rookies for the Warriors. And now Hurrell's dropped the ball.
No advantage.
Heavy contact was made.
Still no advantage.
Conrad slow back to his feet, and on the other side of the field, Lachlan Coote holds onto the ball after a little bobble in the tackle from Townsend.
What's that second marker drifted?
There's Hannant. Congratulations to Big Ben. Game 200.
Go one. We made it one.
Now Bolton.
Contact's okay.
Numbers. Clear it now, Simon. Don't lay on. Thomas, hold. Go, 2.
Granville passes for Thurston. He goes long to Linnett. The centre straightens into Johnson and almost gets away.
Hold.
Bodine
Hold,
Thompson
go.
finished Linnett off. Thurston. This is Taumalolo. He can't get away from Mannering.
Up now.
Sam, get off.
Line, hold, go, 4.
To the right they come. Thurston floats it for Moga. Moga tries to put a step on Carter. The flick offload for O'Neill was taken, but then he was by the defence.
Go.
This is the last. Thurston will kick towards the uprights, throwing it between the posts. It's on the ground still, and Jonathan Wright just watches it go dead.
I got 0.
Yours now, mate.
Wright taps and runs.
0.
And Thurston's back there, make the tackle along with Hannant, who started his journey at the Roosters, then to Brisbane, then Canterbury, back to Brisbane, and here he is, North Queensland, in his first year. Ben Hannant, just one of the milestone men tonight. Lolo here. This is Vete. Throwing himself at Bolton.
Hold back here, Jason. Go 3.
Lulawai passes flat for Lissone. The Cowboys called it forward. Instead, it's been knocked on by the Warriors.
Held, he's held, he's held.
He's
0.
Hold, go, 0. 0.
This is Winterstein. The error's just climbing a little. 4-1 against the Warriors, who do struggle in that regard.
Well, the last 5 minutes or so, there's been a couple, and they're just allowing the Cowboys to dominate field position, get into good position at the end of their sets.
They're averaging 14 errors per game, most in the league. Granville. This is Bolton. He gives it to Scott, on to Hannant. Tackled by Thompson and Lissone. Thurston out the back. Coote, quick hands, beautiful hands to Kane Linnett. Oh, Lachlan Coote. He's made some mistakes, but he's also delivered some big plays. The last pass for both the Cowboys' tries.
Yeah, that's a beauty. And the second last pass both times, Jonathan Thurston. So he just, the cutout ball, he put the ball in behind Cooper. A couple of big units out there, aren't there? It goes through Coote's hands. Great catch and pass it was. He just had to juggle it slightly and flick it on. And another big fella out there, Kane Linnett, over. Yeah, there's plenty of size and speed and power out in that left edge for the Cowboys, and they've cashed in.
He's been a regular in this Cowboys lineup since leaving the Sydney Roosters. There's his first try for the year. The 38th of his 104-game career so far. Kane Linnett under a nice North Queensland sky at the moment. It looks a bit better for Cowboys fans all of a sudden. After trailing 12-0, they'll bounce back with consecutive tries.
Sure, Andrew McFadden's not real impressed, the Warriors coach, with their ball control. There's a couple of mistakes that have just made it difficult for them to get anywhere near the Cowboys' half.
Pretty as a picture, Townsville. Jonathan Thurston edging towards 1,600 points at the Cowboys. He's on 1,594. Successful with his first conversion attempt tonight. Pretty simple one. This is a little tougher. To level us at 12. Thurston off and upright and away. Brent Tate, Lachlan Coote and Kane Linnett combining brilliantly there, but Lachlan Coote, gee, 2014 must have been tough for him, and it's good to see him back in 2015.
It is great to see him back, and one of the things that he does possess is a great pair of hands, Cootie, and he just gives the Cowboys another option at the back there, and great to see Kane Linnett hitting the line at pace there, going in for a try.
Here comes Hannon, really winding up. And just arcing in his run at the end into Bodine Thompson.
Yeah, when you break it down, it's a tough job, isn't it? This bloke doing it as well. They just every week line up, run into brick walls, try to get your team going forward, stay in the middle of the park, don't get fancy. Matt Scott, Benny Hannon. James Tamo's been impressive tonight too, hasn't he? In those early stages.
Origin just around the corner, maybe. James Tarmo and Matt Scott, opponents, which must be hard as Moga takes a tackle. 5 into Warriors territory. Morgan across the face of Ethan Lowe to Bolton. In his 9th season at North Queensland. It was he and Michael Morgan to play every game last year. A big effort for Scott Bolton. As they come to the last, and Thurston goes high this time. Lolo here waits and catches safely. Gets away from Coote, but not Michael Morgan, and then he puts it down. Picked up by the Cowboys. Here's a chance to hit the lead. Another mistake from the Warriors. Hannant going across field. Thought about passing, elected not to, and he takes the tackle from Hoffman. Granville, and they get a penalty.
Didn't get to play the ball.
I'm coming, Joey. Wait. Not
Grant
quick.
Atkins saying
Jerry will tell you when.
the Cowboys didn't get to play the ball.
Got to hold you, boys.
They've got to take the tap, haven't they?
Wait for the tap.
Jerry will tell you.
Hold!
Yeah, when you're ready.
Hold!
And they will. Took them some time, but they did. Morgan to Thurston. This is Bolton. The Cowboys down 12-0. Now searching for the front. Thurston passes to Scott inside the 10.
Ryan, clear it now!
Get square!
Get to the line! Mark the square! Hold!
Just over 6 minutes left in the first half. Granville, Thurston. Coote was a runner again if he needed. Instead, Thurston goes back to Ben Hannant, who shrugs his way clear of a couple, straightens. Wouldn't he love to go over in game 200? Ben Hannant tried to get a quick play of the ball. He didn't, and it's consecutive penalties to the Cowboys.
Not now, but a quiet word to him when you can. Not right now. Not right now.
When he says,
Hold! Hold!
You reckon milestones motivate Badge? Because Ben Hannant has been busy since he came on.
He's playing like a man possessed tonight, isn't he? Really ripping in.
Clear it! Marcus on the line! Hold! Go! 1.
Granville to Thurston. Dummy and run! Jonathan Thurston went to pass, held the ball. It was Hannant running off his shoulders, screaming for it. Granville, his pass went straight to Conrad Hurrell.
Hold 10, Joey. Hold 10.
Went
They're
straight
jockers.
over 2 teammates.
Up now, lock red! Marcus square! Hold!
Jonathan Wright.
Well, that's a big let-off. And 2 opportunities there to take the penalty to even scores up. I did agree with exactly what they did, though, the Cowboys. They had the Warriors' defence on its back feet. Really struggling.
Sam Lasone
All the way here, Michael. Hold!
still looking for his first NRL try. This is his 7th game in the top grade as Townsend kicks out on the full. Their own worst enemies at the moment, the Warriors.
This is supposed to be the best period for the Warriors and has been all season, the 20 minutes before half-time. Piling up points better than any other team in the comp. Well, it's been their worst tonight. They started extremely well with 2 quick tries, but they just keep turning the footy over.
Hannant with ball in hands again.
Pick it up.
Bolton with the ball down around his knees for a moment. He pulled it back up to his chest. Scott. Thurston shows it once, now passes to Coote. Again, it was quick hands, and again, Hurrell can race away. It's a foot race. Morgan has his measure of the time being. Morgan on Hurrell, and Morgan gets his man. Great chase. Michael Morgan. Conrad Hurrell couldn't beat him. They fan out to the left, the Warriors. Johnson goes long now to Townsend. Scrambling the Cowboys defence, and Carter finds it oh so easy. Put it down to the break from Conrad Hurrell on one side of the field. For the other centre, Solomon Carter. They kept their cool, the Warriors. Simple hands, and it opened up.
Well, another mistake at the back end of a set there by the Cowboys, pushing a pass. Look at this big fella go, but Michael Morgan's speed was phenomenal. He tried to get him back on the inside. Morgan read it well, but yeah, you're right. They were cool and calm here. Just knew they needed a big shift out wide. The halves did just that. And Carter, he only had one man to beat out wide, and in the end, he got over for a pretty simple try. Ethan Lowe it was who couldn't stop him.
He's having a good rookie season, isn't he? Solomon Carter, game number 7. That's try number 5. He wears the man bun with a plum. Is that what you call it, Badge? You're more up to date with flash hairstyles than I am. Is that what that's described as?
Oh, I'd have one if I could actually grow it there, Matt. But I think that might be the man bun, yeah.
What do you describe that as?
Scary.
And it's been scary a couple of times tonight. He scored a try and set his sights on a second right there, but was caught. Still the Warriors passed and found the try line on the other side of the field. And it's Chad Townsend lining up, relieving Sean Johnson. Johnson 2 from 2 this evening. He's given Chad Townsend this shot. So we'll just check on Sean Johnson in the next few minutes to make sure he's not carrying a problem that is restricting him from kicking. In fact, he's being treated back on halfway. We'll stay with the conversion. Just beyond the 20, 10 in from touch. And he goes right across the face. It's a horrible effort, really. A converted try the difference, thanks to Solomon Carter, and there's the reason Sean Johnson didn't kick.
Left knee, he was getting it some sort of treatment on it. He'll see it out to half time, no doubt, which is only a short time away. I'll be a little bit concerned about him.
Less than 90 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Cowboys in no hurry for the restart, knowing that the Warriors have time for a full set. Lachlan Coote this time just eases it upfield. And you can hear the response from the crowd. If you've joined us late, Lachlan Coote kicked dead on the full twice in about 3 minutes.
Well, they know who to go to if they need a kick from halfway late in the game to win it. He's got the distance, that's for sure.
Lesonnet with Granville wrapping up both ankles. He's tackled 15 shy of halfway. Luluwai to Mannering.
Have they got a trick up their sleeve? Johnson, that sore left leg, mightn't hold him back.
Matalino takes tackle 5. Here's the last play. Johnson kicks towards the sideline. O'Neill has it on the full. Just over 10 seconds left. O'Neill back in centre field, just shy of his 30. Thurston passes for Cooper, and he'll take the final tackle of the first half. It was the Warriors racing 3-12-0. Then the Cowboys back to 12-10. But it's the visitors ahead by a converted try at the break.
Kicking into the wind this time, Lachlan Coote. I reckon he can give it all he's got.
Yeah, he kicked dead a couple of times, but his injection into the back line for the last pass for the Cowboys' 2 tries was eye-catching. A good fight back from Lachlan Coote. And he goes deep, safely caught in the in-goal, safely by the Warriors and safely for North Queensland, as Matalino leads the Warriors into the second 40. Now Lessone. This is Hoffman. Luluwai sends it down the short side again. Townsend comes back towards the ruck where he's greeted by Moga and Hannant. Mannering met in a solid tackle. Scott was there along with Granville. And Luluwai gives it to Johnson, who will go high. Out towards the wing of Winterstein. It's allowed to bounce by Coote. It goes over his head, back into the in-goal. He has it now. And the chase is a good one from Conrad Hurrell. Big runs with ball in hand and without right there to force a goal line dropout from the Cowboys.
Yeah, just couldn't get that one on the full. One of my best plays in my day, just letting them bounce and hoping for the best. Big Conrad Hurrell came flying through. That means they've got a drop-out reception. The Warriors, good position, field position first up.
It's a handy start to the second half. The kick skews off the boot. And Johnson goes infield to his front rower, Matalino. They scored the first 2 tries of the game. Can they get the first of the second half? Bodine Thompson. Tackled by Hannant. Luluwai's quickly out of acting half. Lessone. A stuttering run towards the defensive line. And he's stopped 5 metres out. Luluwai feigns one way, goes the other. Townsend sits it up for Hoffman. Tackled by Morgan. They're close, the visitors. Carter, acting half. Townsend gives it for Mannering. Mannering dummies and runs and gives the ball. Meant for Matalino. It goes to ground. Johnson comes through, but it's knocked on by the Warriors.
He's gone forward. Simon Mannering is contesting it there. He reckons it was touched by a Cowboys player and forced forward. Here he is getting through the line, the little offload. Oh, he's just come forward out of the hands. Ref's picked it straight away.
It didn't appear to be touched, did it?
I think he might have actually, I might have got that wrong. He might have said one of his support players was taken off the play, but it's gone forward anyway. It's a moot point.
Hold! Go.
Yeah, good.
So the Cowboys get their first touch of the second half, and it's Moga. Tackled by Carter and Mannering. Ethan Lowe. It's a fair reception committee for Ethan as well. Granville. To Bolton. Bodine Thompson and Matalino were waiting for him. This is Scott passing close to the line, of flat ball for Cooper. And he gets to play the ball he wants. Granville out of dummy half was taken high. There was contact from Bodine Thompson. Play allowed to continue, not a lot in it. The referee's happy to say play on for Thurston to kick across field towards Vartuve under no real pressure. Big Manu can take a tackle from Ethan Lowe, and it was also Tautau Moga under his rib cage.
He ripped in last week against Greg Inglis, Moga, and once again he's put a good shot on, that time on Vartuve.
Here's the return from Manu. Unceremoniously dumped. He wore a good shot from Marty Tapau last weekend. He gives it, then he gets it. Big Manu getting up with a smile more often than not. Mannering stands, now put on his back. And this is the last. The Warriors put it down as they contemplated completion. They cough it up. Chad Townsend, the man. A shake of the head from Townsend. Here's the mistake again.
Just took his eyes off it at the last moment, thinking about the kick he was going to put through. But the last 15 of the first half and the start of the second half, their completions have gone way south. Ordinary, look at that, 12 from 20, 60%. It's just not good enough.
Scott crosses halfway. Granville again running out of dummy half and taking good metres. He's been impressive, attacking, tackling out of dummy half and getting a penalty now.
And for me, the important thing too was Lachlan Coote scrambling to go with him with Thurston, quick tap.
He's caught a few sides off guard. The Warriors do well enough to stop him, 8 metres out. Coots gives it to Morgan, now Hannant. Tackled by Hoffman and Townsend. Bolton. Thurston runs onto his pass. Coote steps one way, comes back the other, almost threads his way through, gets the ball away, and it's cleaned up just by Kane Linnett. Cost Jason. His ball for Thurston, on to Scott. Matt Scott back at an angle. The offload allows Cost Jason to run, and dummy as he's falling. Thurston, flat for Cooper, and he loses his legs. Lulawai, the ball was there for Thurston. It's been knocked on now, and Lolo here picks up in goal. It gives us a chance to go down to the sideline. Brent Tate, both coaches were animated in the dressing rooms at half-time. What did they say?
Paul Green was very disappointed in the kicking game, and off the back of that, he thought the Cowboys weren't able to build any pressure on the Warriors. Andrew McFadden wasn't happy also. He felt that they'd gone away from their game plan and the errors were killing them. An injury update on Sean Johnson. He got a cork fight, but it shouldn't inhibit his game too much in the second half.
Well done, Brent Tate. Yes, we saw Sean Johnson just get to half-time, and that breather has been enough for him to start the second half, and you would know that he's got a problem starting this second 40.
Yeah, so the cork must be right above his knee. He was getting some treatment there just before half-time. Low down in one of his quads. It looks okay.
Townsend gives it out the back for Lolo here, and Carter runs onto the ball. There was a gap in front of him, and it closed as Michael Morgan scrambled in defence. Hoffman passes for Vete. He's tackled by Cost Jason. Now Johnson just sits it up for Matalina to run into Ben Hannon. Mannering on to Johnson. This is quick hands from Thompson to Conrad Hurrell, who gets away from Cooper. Infield, it's Mannering, crunched. Good covering tackle. It came from Antonio Winterstein, a try-saver as Johnson goes long. Numbers here for the Warriors. Hoffman on to Carter. Solomon, Carter drops it. A try was there. He only had to go to ground, and the ball comes free.
I've got a no try. But if we have a no try, I have a penalty for them not retrieving the 10.
How did they bomb that, the Warriors?
A wonderful cover defending, desperate tackle by Lachlan Coote. That's how on Carter. He was just forcing his way over. They've shifted it to the other side of the park after the big bust. And just look at it here. He's in between defenders, and Coote arrives. Helps force it out. Now, they're going to get a penalty, the Warriors, for Cowboys not retreating the 10. That was nice and flat, wasn't it, that last pass? But either way, no try, and
I've got to disallow this.
the Warriors penalty, the ref has already told us. Great work, Coote. Great tackle cut that from O'Neill.
It was Justin O'Neill. I credited Antonio Winterstein, but I'm glad you've picked that up. Justin O'Neill.
On Hurrell.
Yeah, but the defenders are in contact.
Sorry, on Mannering.
We're not going quick. We're not going quick. We're on the line, boys. We're on the line. 10 metres. On the line, boys. On the line. On the line.
Go, Chad.
Hold. Go.
Here come the Warriors again. Lulawai. Vete.
Up now, Marcus, hold there.
Tackled by Asiata and Scott. Now Matalino. He's felled by Hannon. Lulawai to Townsend. He passes for Lolo here. And That's a good stop also by Michael Morgan. Lulawai, some upbeat football, straight onto the ball, fast and hard, and down. The Warriors are in. Big Manu Vatuvei. He's scored more premiership tries than any Kiwi now on the planet. He goes past Nigel Vunganar, 141 tries for the beast, Big Manu.
And how do you stop that? He is just on the fly. It's well constructed, the Cowboys. Lulawai dummies to the first runner. That stops some defenders coming across. And then Vatuvei appears on the scene on his inside shoulder as well. Well, a couple of one-on-ones with different players. Morgan left to try to tidy it up. Coote couldn't stop him.
13 tries in his past 13 games now. His record against the Cowboys hasn't been so flash, but it counted for nothing tonight. He has a dent for his troubles, but it's only a small mark for Big Manu, who has left plenty in his playing career. 201 games tonight, 141 tries.
He's got a bit of some damage there on his forehead. I'd say someone else in a Cowboys jersey would have some bit of damage as well.
Six tries for the season now, Manu, and Chad Townsend is in the huddle as Manu gets strapped. Sean Johnson shapes up the conversion, a 10-point lead. They're going to take some catching, you feel. He passed up the final conversion attempt of the opening half as he nursed that cork that Brent Tate reported, but happy to resume kicking duties. 2 from 2 for Sean Johnson tonight, the miss coming from Townsend. To make the difference, 2 converted tries. That's the assignment for Johnson. Bringing it back, threading it through. It's a handy lead. Brent Tate, you've played with and against Big Manu. I'm tipping you preferred being with him.
Almost mission impossible there. A really well-worked play there, just isolating a defender, getting Manu one-on-one close to the line there. And when the beast is that close, there's absolutely no stopping him.
He's in his 12th wonderful season, Manu Vatuvei. Now Matalino. And showing no signs of stopping, we should add. In the midst of contract renewal talks, Manu Vatuvei. We'll keep our eye on that as Vete leans into Matt Scott.
Ethan, don't kick it out! Hold! Go 2.
Hoffman on that Warriors left-hand side.
Hold. Go 3.
Now Mannering. It's the Warriors left that's given them most of their tries this season. It was on show again right there as Manu crashed over. Albert Vete to halfway.
Release, hold, go.
Johnson with the kick. It goes deep for Coote. He catches and has a bit of room. Running at Townsend. He makes the tackle, assisted by his front rower. O'Neill bouncing.
Thomas, just roll out.
Courtesy of Vete and Lulawai. Winterstein, the other winger now. Toss Jason to Scott. This is Thurston infield, it's Coote. And Vete dived at his legs to make the tackle. Asiata. John is 22 tomorrow. And this is the last play in this set. It falls for Thurston again. And he goes very high, trying to put some pressure on Lolo here. It's a good kick. It's being dropped and dived on by Lachlan Coote. The kick from Thurston was so difficult to take between the posts.
Okay.
And the Cowboys are claiming a try.
I've got tackle 0. I have a try. Please review the onside, then the grounding.
Grant Atkins spelling it out for the video referees. So tackle 0 because the drop has come from Lolo here, and it appears that Coote has scored.
If he'd taken this, it would have just been seen as being a little bit too deep. They're all onside. They're level with him out wide. That shouldn't be a problem at all. The only players on the outside, maybe back on the inside, but none of those players get involved or get within 10 metres of the catcher. This was the problem. It looked like it was going to hit the crossbar. So Lola here was just put him off. He would have taken this every day of the week, but he's had a little bit of a squiz, I think, as well at Michael Morgan. Out it comes. That's just, well, that's just too easy, isn't it, for the Cowboys there, chasing through. First man on the scene, Lachlan Coote, there it is. Clean as a whistle.
So he's had a hand in all 3 Cowboys tries tonight. In this instance, 2 hands. He slammed it down. And Lachlan Coote has scored in a position that should mean we're looking at a 6-point ball game again. So they're having another look here. Lachlan Coote on the inside of Thurston. He's onside.
Yeah, he is. And Morgan is onside as well. He's the one that gets closest to Lola here. I can't see any issue with that.
It's all good. It was given a try, and now it is awarded officially. Lachlan Coote, his second try of the season. He scored against the Panthers, his former club, in round 5. He's done it again tonight. Great to see a player who's had his fair share of injuries and had to fight back through a really frustrating 2014, delivering tonight. So I suppose you'd call it a mixed night for Lachlan Coote, Brent Tate, but he's starting to come out on top now in terms of those mixed results earlier on.
Yeah, he certainly has, and we spoke about it earlier. Lachlan Coote being on the ball, he constantly follows the ball around, and that's one of the things he's given the Cowboys is some real enthusiasm, being on the ball all the time, and he's got this knack of scoring plenty of tries. Great chase from Coote.
Just repeating, the last 2 clashes involving these teams have finished as 4-point and 2-point ball games. The difference right now, 6. Still more than 25 minutes remaining, and I'm looking forward to it. We hope you're enjoying Super Saturday on Fox Sports, on Sky Sport in New Zealand as Hannant comes back.
Nathan Friend on the field there now in jersey 14 for the Warriors, for the unfamiliar role of coming off the bench for him this season.
Nasiata into Bodine Thompson. There's Friend. Ethan Lowe plays the ball 15 short of halfway. Scott running straight at Nathan Friend. Thurston runs to the line, passes for Coote, looping around, he straightens. You can't get away from Sean Johnson. This is the last, and Thurston kicks across field, making sure it doesn't go too high, and Vartuve tackled in the air. He really leapt more forward than upwards, and the contact came from Justin O'Neill.
Well, he can't tackle him while he's in the air. I really think O'Neill was trying to get the footy on the full and then braced himself for the impact with Big Manu.
Knee raised.
And if he gets out of his way, the big fella's going to gallop 70, 80 metres and score. I don't think he had a choice there, O'Neill.
There was nothing illegal about the catch from Manu. I'm just saying it's a scary sight. 100 and whatever kilos of Big Manu flying forward, knee raised, and your job is to try and stop him.
JT's got, that's a couple that have landed on the full for Manu. Don't want to do that all night.
Justin O'Neill might have a little whisper in JT's ear next time they cross as Vete plays it. Friend to Johnson. And this is Hurrell running the inside line. Backing his way upfield, Conrad Hurrell Show of strength. He had 3 Cowboys on board and he just kept backtracking. Lillyman. Spent 5 years at North Queensland. He's in his 7th year as a Warrior. The last, as Townsend goes high towards the wing of O'Neill. It's pushed backwards and into touch by the Warriors, so a changeover. And the Cowboys can come away from their 10.
Hand over. Play the ball in the hand on the 10.
Wait here, Sean.
Stay square, Chad.
Albert.
Hold square, Chad. Chad.
Hold, go.
Good. Mark is okay. 0. Yes, this will be 1.
O'Neill.
Nathan, clear.
Hold.
Kane Linnett, first half try scorer for the Cowboys, as Hannant sets his sights on Friend. And the interchange hooker does a good job, and assisted by some teammates. Asiata. This is Taumalolo passing rather than running on that occasion. Morgan gives it on to Moga, trying to position his outside man. And O'Neill stays in the field of play. He's stopped 30 metres out. This is the last. Thurston again, kicking to the other side of the field now. Right under no real pressure. Catches in the field of play and he's driven backwards towards the end goal. And he only just stays in the field of play. That was a good chase and tackle by the Cowboys, who are muscling up now in defence. Trying to get off their line. That is Lolo here. Friend gives it to Vartuve. He tramples over one fallen Cowboy. It's cost Jason slowly back to his feet. Friend. Tackled by Thurston. They arrive at the last 30 metres out. Townsend had to hurry into dummy half. Johnson goes long over the head of Coote. It bounces on its point. And Coote cleans up now. So Rory cost Jason straight off as Coote passes to O'Neill.
Concussion check, I think, for cost Jason. Trainer didn't hesitate to get him straight off.
Well, he showed those signs that were clearly earmarked by the NRL in the recent clarification. So the Cowboys get that one spot on, taking him immediately for assessment.
That was section 3C, wobbly boot.
Asiata passing flat for Taumalolo. It was in the back end of that game against Melbourne where Taumalolo really stood up, cost Jason, heading for that assessment. Going through all those clauses and subsections that would probably give the doctors concussion just reading them. Here's Cooch high. It will come down in the field of play again, safely taken by Tumaola. Lolo here. Jonathan Wright. No easy metres for him, courtesy Jake Granville.
Just over 20 minutes to go. There's 6 points up the Warriors, but they're not going to try to shut up shop. That's not their game. I think that would be the wrong thing for them to do. They've got to keep working for field position. But when there's a chance to swing the ball wide and offload, a quick shift, do it, because that's the best way that they play.
Johnson passes for Dominic Peru. On in jumper 15. Johnson completes the set, putting some pressure on Winterstein, who had the ball arrive awkwardly in the sideline right beside him. And he did well. Leonard loops around, running off Thurston. Hanging in the fight, the Cowboys. Winterstein busy again. Granville back on with cost Jason forced off, and Hannon takes the 4th tackle. Taumalolo sits it up for Thurston, who dummies and takes the line on. It's a good tackle. Nathan Friend. The last falls for Morgan. He goes high again, and again it's going to come down about 5 metres out and be taken by the Cowboys. It's then thrown backwards. Gavin Cooper was the man. Still on, still the last. Instead, it's a penalty now for the Warriors.
It's tipped the ref off, and they've got it right. It's a great call. There was an offside player chasing that kick. I think that was the ruling, Matt.
I'm trying to work out what the ruling is, looking at the referees and their gestures.
He's not held. No problem with that. Great catch by Cooper. And there must have been offside.
Few shakes of the head around the box, but
Jason, all the way, mate. Hold.
it's a penalty to the Warriors in any way. The reason, we'll have to get clarification.
Move now, Jason. Get square, marker.
Lesone just into Cowboys territory. Townsend dummies inside and runs. Now giving the ball, it's taken by Hoffman. He has been such a threat this year, Chad Townsend. Running through the line. Passing this time for Johnson. Calls Lolo here inside and he loses his legs. Tackled by Granville and Hannant. 2 plays left for the Warriors. Friend. Now Lesone. He runs into Taumalolo. Final play from 6 metres out. Johnson grubbers. It's still in the in goal and kicked dead by Jonathan Thurston. He was under plenty of pressure.
I think at first he thought he was a chance of getting it and getting hold of the football, getting out of the in goal area, and just bounced unfavourably for him, and he had to put a boot on it. A good play there. The Warriors, they've got themselves a repeat set. Pressure mounting.
The Cowboys with only 1 home win so far this season against Melbourne. The Warriors with only 1 road victory against the Raiders.
I think the Warriors need more points. I don't think 6 is going to be enough, and that'll help.
What a steamrolling run from Sam Lesone, and he gets a penalty. Well, from in front, it is oh so kickable. You'll have to take the 2, surely, the Warriors, to go ahead by 8.
Sure.
Hoffman in quickly to congratulate
2 points.
Young Sam Lesone, 21 years of age.
Have a look at this. Charging back from the dropout. Just gets the hip and shoulder in and scrambles through the line. Oh, that's where the penalty came, the extra effort from Tamo.
Let's go, Sean.
Lesone, one of the graduates of the Warriors under-20s premiership team last season.
Got a minute 20.
Albert Vete, Solomon Akata, also in those ranks, so shooting for an 8-point advantage. It's a handy lead with just over 15 minutes remaining.
They've hurried Sean Johnson up here. The refs.
He hasn't missed tonight, Sean Johnson. And he still hasn't. 8 points. The Warriors in front by. James Tamo penalised for the second effort in the tackle. You know what that one was for. But the way they came from behind late against Melbourne, with JT front and centre, Jason Taumalolo rumbling up the middle. You know they can do it again, the Cowboys.
Yeah, they just need some continuity of football. A couple of sets in a row. In the red zone. The Warriors 20 metres on will do it for them.
Lesone. Couldn't get away from Ethan Lowe or Hammond. Hoffman. Just did a direct run. Friend gives it to Townsend. Tackled by Moga.
Yep.
Sam Lesone passing for Paydaru. And the last tackle option falls for Johnson. His kick taken now by Coop. And the chase is led by Bodine Thompson. The pass towards centre field for O'Neill, who slips and gets back to his feet, still going. Moga stopped by Hoffman and Townsend. Now Linnett. Tamo just into Warriors territory. 13.5 minutes remaining. The Warriors ahead by 8. Thurston called Coote as an inside runner, and it was well read by Lillyman and Peru. The last, Thurston goes high again. Manu Vartuve measures his run, catches safely, and collapses on returning to terra firma. We've mentioned it's JT's 250th. He won his debut, he won his 50th, but since then he's lost game 100, 150, 200.
Jake, get up and give room. Hold.
Now, Jonathan Wright.
Jake, out of there.
Lillyman. Tackled by Ethan Lowe. This is the last. Johnson gets away from Matt Scott. Well enough to get a midfield bomb away. It's off Jonathan Wright and forward, so Antonio Winterstein can run. It's a broken line in front, but Friend did enough to stop him, assisted by Mannering. Linnett. This is O'Neill. Skipping and getting away, still running Justin O'Neill.
Like to see him in some open space. Super quick O'Neill.
Granville passes for Taumalolo. Jason Taumalolo. Stopped by Wright and Bodine Thompson. So light on his feet for a big man that we shouldn't be surprised.
It's two of us a Sheck-like footwork.
Scott straight into Mannering. They set themselves up in the back end of this set, the Cowboys. Morgan gives it now for Coote. He's had a hand in every Cowboys try this evening. This is the last. Thurston out of dummy half, has to get the ball away. He's wrapped up and it will be a changeover. 4 metres out.
Well, it's worth a go. Thurston's got that great dummy at the line, and he knows if you're going to turn it over, not such a bad place. Just watch him aim up here. Big Manu in to help out. The Warriors go forward. They need to get well and truly out of this area.
Carter. Still too early for the Warriors to shut up shop, leading by 8 against the Cowboys. If they make mistakes like that, it's definitely the case. Gavin Cooper picks up a Conrad Hurrell mistake. And that's the zero tackle, 21 metres out. Granville to Ethan Lowe. Thurston. Tamo is the straight runner. Mannering involved defensively as his tackle count for the match balloons again. Thurston holding it up, and all the runners went past him. He didn't like any of the options, and he takes the tackle, the third. Granville to Scott. Matt Scott. It was Friend around his boots. Granville from dummy half. Jake Granville slams it down. Jake Granville has scored.
Tackle 5. Try. Want to ensure he keeps control of the ball for the grounding.
The hooker claims his second for the match.
Well, he wants to see it on the big screen too, Jake Granville. So we're not sure what we're going to get here. The referee thinks he's scored. He's just getting out of this tackle of Thompson. Yes, they needed that. Warriors all sweating on Thurston and Morgan, and who was going to get the ball out the back on the last play. Happy with that, Matt?
I am happy with that. This one is the one that makes it clearest. Downward pressure is the key statement
And he's still got control for mine.
He may have been losing control, but he hasn't lost control. There's downward pressure. In the rule book, control isn't mentioned when it comes to scoring a try. It's downward pressure. There's a green light.
I think it's important, Matt, and that's a green light.
Jason coming back on for the Cowboys, so the try scorer goes to the bench. Thurston steers it through. A 2-point ball game again. Jake Granville, geez, impressed us, Badge. So many facets of tonight's game.
Well, he's predominantly been an impact player. He was at the Broncos. He's come in, he's starting, and then has a rest and comes back on for some impact. It's working really well. Combination that Granville has there with Koss Jason. Conrad Hurrell won't be feeling great, though, will he? Making that mistake that only a couple of tackles later was a try to the Cowboys.
Tamo.
Strong. Stand up, buddy! Marcus! Go one, they're all right.
Well into the final 10 minutes, 2 points the difference, and James Taumalolo. This is Scott. Tackled by Hurrell and Bodine Thompson. Koss Jason cleared after that earlier wobble. What a stat 3 test. Taumalolo passes, Coop gives it now for Morgan. Numbers, Michael Morgan takes on the line and is tackled by Carter and Townsend. This is the last for the Cowboys. It's Coop who will kick. He goes high across field towards Jonathan Wright. The chase is good, and so is the catch. Jonathan Wright, solid in the air this evening. He was balked by the chasers and did well. Eyes only for the ball.
Not going to make a mistake this time. Big Conrad. Who's going to help out these tiring forwards while they're here?
Friend into dummy half, and he goes to Vatuve. They were up quickly on him, leading the charge. Rory Koss Jason. There's a mistake, play on the ruling, not now though. And the Cowboys hurry in to set the scrum.
I'll take the scrum going.
The one ref called play on. It came quickly out there from the play the ball.
Out.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to rule that as a knock-on. It did come off Nathan Friend's knee, but maybe get a hand on it as well.
I mentioned the error count for the Warriors this season, averaging 14 per game. Well, they're at 13 so far. Way ahead of North Queensland, who've committed 4, so more than 3 times as many errors as the opposition.
And it's amazing they can do that and still win games and lead games.
Ahead by 2 as we speak. Morgan, tackled by Friend. Tamo. It's another cliffhanger for the Townsville fans of the North Queensland Cowboys. Thurston, flat for Gavin Cooper. He's stopped by Johnson and Hurrell.
They want to go back out to the right now.
It's the way they go. Coote shows it twice, gives it to Thurston. Now Morgan puts it down. Manu Vatuve cleans up.
They had a big chance out there. Morgan knew it as well. He was going to try to put the in and away on and create a 3-on-2, but he just lost a sitter.
Let's get there, Warriors. You stand up now, just stay where you are.
6 and a bit minutes left.
Let's go, Chad.
Need a really tidy set here. Warriors coming off their line.
Don't break
Get to it, the kick deep.
On the ground, Jason. Down we go. Free, Chad.
And the Cowboys need a bit of defensive aggression. Up now on Carter.
What they've done the last 4 or 5 times coming out of here, the Warriors, they've kept it really in close around the play the ball. They're big men.
Like Matalino.
Yeah, don't get much bigger than Matalino.
Friend to Lilliman. Now Mannering, the captain. Nothing fancy as they just look to get through this set and release a good kick. Townsend, back for Hoffman. He's stopped by Taumalolo. Now Johnson, what will he do? High, end over end. It will come down about 25 metres out, pushed backwards by Hurrell. Forwards now. So we'll have a changeover. As mentioned, 25 out.
Time off.
Time is off because the ball was kicked away by the Warriors.
Hold for the go. Gavin, wait for it. Hold, go.
So Winterstein, the Cowboys, in their own half. Tamo now, stopped by Hoffman. Taumalolo tries to find a way through. He enters Warriors territory. That shot shows their field placing. Scott thought about passing. Instead, he stands. Thurston. Fain to go to Cooper. This is the last. The crowd willing the Cowboys home. Cooch high. Calling on Vatuve to come forward. Manu couldn't get the ball. It's in the in goal. Lolo here has it. Chased by Coop. Now Cooper has him. And we'll come back for a handover.
Here's your handover. Play the ball here.
He had to go. Michael Morgan flying through. There was a collision coming, wasn't there, with Big Manu? Oh, he just couldn't hang on to it.
The contest for the ball was spectacular. The replay showed it well off Morgan. At first sight, I couldn't pick up whether it was Morgan or Vatuve. And here is Manu.
He's come in for his share of work, hasn't he? Getting him out of trouble. Manu.
It's his 12th hit up for the game. His friend. His pass goes to Matalino.
Stand up, hold here, Gavin. Hold.
Now Lilliman. The Warriors, after consecutive wins in Townsville for the first time since 2000. Matalino. Midfield. Tackled by Lowe and Tamo. Townsend from inside the 40. It's going to go close to the sideline, but straightened favourably for Lachlan Coote. Time ticking away on the Cowboys.
And they need to leg it back. The Cowboys get plenty of them on side. Half of them are still out of the play. Granville now are going to jump into dummy half. They need something special from the likes of him or Thurston.
Jimmy.
This is Moga. Running straight and hard. Granville for Tamo. That's the halfway line. 2 plays left. Thurston waits on the left. It comes in his direction. To Taumalolo. Now JT on to Lachlan Coote. Linnett gives the ball for Winterstein. Across in cover. Back at the angle. Coote has it and he's tackled by Lolo here. The final play for the Cowboys from 16 metres out. It's with Thurston. Long now to Morgan. Longer again. Moga stutters. Gives the ball. It's picked up back infield. The ball bouncing around and it's cleaned up by the Cowboys who get a fresh set. Real pressure now for the Warriors. Thurston to Taumalolo. Gets away from Mannering, but not Matalino. Granville. Now Asiata for Thurston to Gavin Cooper. Well tackled by Conrad Hurrell. And you can hear the crowd to life now. Granville out of dummy half for a hat-trick to give his side the lead for the first time tonight.
We're confirming grounding again, mate.
Jake Granville, what a game he is having.
How good is he out of dummy half? I know they were stretched, the Warriors, but just have a look at this. A player left on the ground, shows it, he almost passes it. Oh, that's a try. That is an absolute beauty for the Cowboys, and it's got them home.
That's good. Signal try by Gerard Sutton. There is nothing to suggest otherwise. And having trailed for 78 minutes and 27 seconds, the Cowboys have the front. Jake Granville on a big night for Jonathan Thurston, on a big night for Ben Hannant, has given North Queensland a 26-24 lead in the final couple of minutes. Thurston has nailed 3 from 4 this evening.
Wiz, you'll be on the 10. Joey, yep.
A little sneak peek at the clock by JT. There will be only seconds remaining after the kick. Heartbreak for the team on the try line there. Thurston curling it back, curling it through, and making it 28-24. Time off in the final 5 minutes. So the only option for the Warriors is short restart and Hail Mary.
And the Cowboys, get your best catches, your biggest men, get them all up in that, around that 10-metre zone.
There is the high, short kickoff. Vartuve getting through. It's taken safely by the Cowboys. A great grab by Tautau Moga, assisted back to his feet by Vartuve. Now Ethan Lowe as the crowd counts down. Now they celebrate, as does Jonathan Thurston. In game 250, he's a winner. Ben Hannant likewise, but that man in centre screen, Jake Granville, 3 tries. Badge, am I going off too early? A man of the match performance.
He made the decision pretty easy, didn't he, Jake Granville? He got him home. They were struggling to get back ahead of this Warriors team. The Warriors brave. They weren't playing their best, made a lot of errors, but scored some good tries. But just a couple of out-of-dummy half late by Jake Granville has just broken the hearts of Simon Mannering and his team.